Back to Good Day, Maine. Homeowners across the state have seen increases to their property tax bill this year as many cities reassess home values. Earlier this month, the South Portland City Council called on the state for help and reform.
Jeremy Portnoy, an investigative journalist with OpenTheBooks.com, is here to give us more context on how property taxes are changing in Maine and nationwide. And Jeremy, how do Cumberland County's property taxes compare to the rest of the state?
Well, the new report tax $1,000 in Maine, and it was about triple the nationwide average, which was $1,815. And that was even before taxes went up following this new reassessment we just had of home values. I know your team reported just last week that at a South Portland City Council meeting, there was one woman almost in tears because her property tax bill went up 60% out of nowhere. So that's only going to widen the gap between Maine and some other states.
What about on a state level? How do Maine's property taxes compare to the rest of the country?
Well, that question is actually a little more complicated than it seems. So the Tax Foundation has Maine ranked at number 21 among all the states. They say Maine pays just under 1% of the value of their house into property taxes, and most of New England is actually a lot higher than that. Then the same week, Wallet Hub came out with their own report. They said Maine has the highest property tax burden of anywhere in the U.S. So that's based on income instead of your property value. The average Maine family is paying 4.86% of their income into property taxes. So Alabama's the lowest. They're only a quarter as much as in Maine. And Vermont and New Hampshire are also among the top.
Well, that's kind of a shocker, especially being homeowners. Why is Maine's property tax burden the highest? And what's different here than in other states, especially like Alabama, which is the lowest?
Yeah, well, I probably don't have to tell you that house values in Maine have just shot up over the last 5 years, actually more than any other state in the U.S. And just this May, the Press-Herald reported that we actually hit a new record for median home prices in Maine. So 1% of the value of your house is now suddenly a lot more than it used to be, especially if your house went up by $160,000. That's the average increase. So suddenly a 1% payment is a much bigger percentage of your paycheck and your income.
And is the rest of New England in a similar situation?
So the rest of New England is actually paying a higher percentage of their house value into property taxes. If you look at the top 10 states for that, 5 of them are in the Northeast. You got something like Connecticut, which is paying 1.8% of their home value, where Maine, it's only 0.96%. So that kind of puts these counties in a tough position now. Are they willing to lower their spending so that they can get that rate even lower than some of the other New England states that are already below? Is the state willing to step in and offer some property tax relief payments? You're probably going to hear a lot of different solutions over the next few months.
All right, many communities have seen increases of over 10% this year. Thank you so much. That's Jeremy Portnoy with OpenTheBooks.com.